Hello everyone, Lucky Tremendous here, and I am back for another episode of Lucky Talks Motion Pictures, and boy do I have a good one for you today. Last time we talked about the 1993 somewhat success, somewhat failure Demolition Man. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about a film that came out the exact same year, and one that's actually considered one of the best films of that respective year. Today, we're going to be watching the hit sensation from 1993, Harrison Ford's The Fugitive, based on the 60s series of the same name. It has nothing to do with the show, mind you, but it's based on the idea that a man is wrongfully accused of a crime and goes on the run to try and prove his innocence. Honestly, I took one look at the time. The film is very long. It's over 2 hours, but the story was really good. It was so good. The film just seems to fly right by. It was quite impressive, I'll give it that. The film stars Tommy Lee Jones as the officer trying to catch Harrison Ford's character, and the two of them really work good together. Without further ado, my friends, let me start talking about The Fugitive, 1993, starring Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. The film starts where we meet the main character, Doctor Richard Kimball, a prominent Chicago vascular surgeon. He arrives home to find his wife, Helen, is fatally wounded by a one-armed man. Yes, you heard me right, a one-armed man. Kimball struggles with the killer before he escapes. The lack of evidence of a break-in, Helen's lucrative life insurance policy, and a misunderstood 911 call results in Kimball's wrongfully accused of first-degree murder and a subsequent death sentence awaiting him. Being transported to death row by bus, his fellow prisoners attempt an escape. The pandemonium sends the bus down a giant ravine and into the path of an oncoming train. Kimball saves the life of one of the guards and escapes the collision and flees away into the woods, while the train derails as a result of the collision. It's this where we meet Deputy U.S. Marshal Samuel Gerald, Gerard, I believe that's how you say it, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and his colleagues Renfro, Biggs, Newman, and Poole. You forget these guys' names instantly, but you recognize them by their faces as they arrive at the crash site and begin the search for Kimball. Kimball sneaks into a hospital to treat his many wounds and alter his appearance. He eludes the authorities, but Gerard corners him at the edge of a storm drain over a dam. It's honestly one of the most iconic film scenes ever made, in the last 25 years at least, where the criminal is leaning over the edge of a dam and the officers trying to get him back. However, Kimball leaps into the raging water and escapes, most of whom consider him dead. But in fact he's not. Kimball returns to Chicago to hunt for the real murderer and acquires money from his friend and colleague, Dr. Charlie Nichols. Posing as a janitor, Kimball enters Cook County Hospital's prosthetic department to obtain a list of people who had their prosthetic arm repaired shortly after his wife's murder, as the prosthetic arm that the killer had on had been damaged in the scuffle between him and Kimball. Following a police lead confirming Kimball's recent whereabouts, Gerard speculates that Kimball is searching for the one-armed man. Kimball breaks into the residence of one of the people on the list, a former police officer named Frederick Stykes. Kimball discovers that Stykes is the murderer and is employed by a pharmaceutical company, Devlin McGregor, which is scheduled to release a new drug called Provisic. Kimball investigated the drug in the past and revealed that it caused liver damage, which would have prevented it from being approved by the FDA. He also deduces that Nicholas, his friend and colleague, remember mind you, who is leading the drug's development, arranged a cover-up and ordered Stykes to kill him. His wife was not the intended victim, he was. Gerard follows Kimball's lead to Sykes' house and draws the same conclusion. The drug is to be presented at a pharmaceutical convention at the Chicago Hilton and Towers Hotel. As Kimball takes an elevated train there to confront Nichols, Sykes appears and attacks him out of nowhere. In the very struggle, Sykes shoots a transit cop before being subdued and handcuffed to a pole by Kimball, to be left there for the cops later. At the conference, Kimball interrupts Nicholas's speech, accusing him of falsifying his medical research and orchestrating his wife's murder in front of a crowd of ongoing people. They fight while being chased through the hotel by the marshals and police. Gerard calls out to Kimball that he knows about Nicholas's conspiracy and that he should promptly surrender. Nichols knocks out Renfo, though, and takes his gun and attempts to shoot Gerard, but Kimball attacks him from behind, knocking him unconscious. Kimball surrenders to Gerard, who escorts him out of the hotel. Nichols and Sykes are both arrested. Kimball is driven from the crime scene by Gerard. His exoneration is now assured, considering him a free man. But damn, was this movie ever an exciting ride? I mean, honestly, when I see movies that are over 2 hours long, I start to groan because I'm thinking they're going to be definitely not as awesome as I think they are, except under very big circumstances. But no, this movie was great. It was an absolutely fantastic film. I would have to say one of Harrison Ford's best films he ever made. Him and Tommy Lee Jones knocked it out of the park. Joe Pan- Pentolan Pentilano. I mean, that's his name. He's actually in a lot of movies himself. He's a very funny actor, but he can also be very serious. He did a great job as one of the marshals, not gonna lie. The film also starred Jane Lynch in a very small role, so I actually did not know that when I first watched it. Like I said, The Fugitive, fantastic movie. There are a few things I think you guys should know, though. Harrison Ford was not originally supposed to play the character. He was definitely not the studio's first choice, and neither was Tommy Lee Jones for the part of Gerard. Um, Originally, Alec Baldwin, Kevin Costner, Michael Douglas, they were supposed to be playing Harrison Ford's character, but it honestly went to him. And Tommy Lee Jones was originally supposed to be played by Gene Hackman and Jon Voight for that role of Gerard, but Jones was picked over the both of them. The film went on to win numerous awards and win critical acclaim, including those of British Academy Film Awards, the annual Chicago Films Critics Awards. It was nominated. It won many awards, most of which you can't even count on one or two hands. At least 10 awards were won in the part of making this movie, and it's a film that I would definitely watch again, even if it's long. You guys know I got a real problem with lengthy films. I always seem to put them off until the last minute, but this was definitely one I did regret taking so long to watch. The Fugitive is definitely a one-of-a-kind film that can never be recreated, no matter how hard they try. Too bad they did try. 5 years later, they made a spin-off of this movie where Tommy Lee Jones came back to play Gerard as the main character. You should never have minor characters lead their own things. It really almost never works out. Honestly, I do apologize if I sound a little tired, my friends. It is almost 1 o'clock in the morning where I am right now, and I do apologize if the set of videos that have come out very recently are a bit late. Circumstances prevented me from releasing them earlier, but they will be released very soon, I guarantee it, and I will be back to making more videos about television and movies very soon. That I can assure you. Sometimes life can be very taxing, but for a film critic, the clock never stops, not for anything. I hope you guys enjoyed my summary slash review of 1993's The Fugitive, starring Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. If you liked this video, please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more videos like this. I really do appreciate it. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.